So in our video today, we're going to learn how to boot Windows PC into safe mode. We are going to demonstrate this using two scenarios. The first one is where your computer can be able to boot all the way to desktop. The second option, or the second scenario, is where your computer is either in a boot loop, so it means that your computer cannot boot into desktop. So we'll start with the first scenario. So if your computer can be able to boot all the way to desktop, then I have two options for you if you want to boot into safe mode. The first one is where you use msconfig. To go there, you open Windows Run. So you press on Windows, then R to open Run dialog. Then you type msconfig. You hit on Enter. It will open System Configuration. Here you click on Boot tab, Safe Boot with whatever option you want, minimal or with network. So after this, then once you hit apply, it will prompt you to restart, and once you restart the computer, it will boot directly to safe mode. It's actually one of the fastest and easiest way of booting into safe mode. So the second method is where you use Windows recovery options to boot into safe mode. So you press on Windows key, then you search for recoveries options, this one. So once you open it, you go to this option, advanced, and you click on restart now. If you hit on restart now, the computer will restart, but instead of booting back to desktop, it will go to recovery options. So we are going to see that in a second. First, I'll have to pause my recording, and then I'll record my screen using a camera. So these are the options I was talking about. Once you get to this point, you click on troubleshoot, and then the advanced options, and then this is now the point where you're going to use startup settings. So we still have a command prompt option. We will see that later on, but when you go to startup options, this is what you're going to see. These are the options that you have. You can be able to enable low resolution video mode, enable boot logging, enable safe mode, and actually we want to enable safe mode. So we're going to, you don't do anything here until you restart again by hitting restart. It's going to restart, and we're going to get the options where we can now be able to select the actual mode that you're going to boot into. So this is what I was talking about. Now you can use F1 to F9 to choose the mode. In my case, I want to enable safe mode, so which is number 4, and number 4, if I want to select that, I press F4 on my keyboard. So this is the key. So once I press on F4, it will restart, and once I put my PIN or the password, boom, we're in. So you're now in safe mode. So if you want to exit safe mode, the only thing that you need to do here is to restart your computer. So you hit on restart. So how fast or slow your computer boots will depend on your system and the drive you're using. When you're using a hard drive, to be slightly slower or even very slow as compared to when you're using an SSD. So you're back. If I input my PIN, we are back in normal mode. So in our next scenario, we are going to activate safe mode when your computer cannot be able to boot all the way to your desktop. So, and in that case, you will need a bootable USB drive. I made a video on how to make a USB drive or a pen drive bootable and mounting Windows on it. So we are going to follow the same route we usually do when we are clean installing Windows using a USB drive, but we are going to take a detour and use a feature which is usually available, and we are going directly to recovery options where you're going to see all other options that you have. So in this case, make sure your USB drive is well plugged in and ready to go. Then go ahead and restart your computer. So you're going to press escape in HP PC, and then you're going to press F9 to open the boot options. So that's where you're going to select our boot drive as our medium for booting, and then we'll proceed from that point. So let's restart our computer. So let's keep pressing escape until we are able to boot into BIOS. Yes, and this is the menu we want. So boot menu will be F9. So I'm going to press on F9, and you can see our USB is the second option. So we go to a second option, we hit on enter, and then it will restart, and this time it will behave as if we're installing Windows. Remember, this USB drive has Windows mounted on it already. So you're going to get this screen. Yeah, we need that language. Then we click on next, but instead of clicking on install now, you'll go down here to repair your computer. You hit on it, and boom, we are back to the place where we were able to open the recovery options. So you go to troubleshoot. So when you get to this point, we have several options that you can use here. If, for example, you want to repair startup, you can use that. If you want to uninstall updates, maybe you are not able to log into your computer because of a previous update which messed maybe everything in your system. Maybe your file systems, you want to restore your computer, system image recovery, but now we're interested in the command prompt. This is where we're going to do all the magic. So once you open the command prompt, type bcd edit space that thing set space that bracket default, then you close, save boot minimal. You hit on OK, and you can see the operation was completed successfully. So which means once we close our command prompt and restart our computer, we are going directly to safe mode. So I'm going to put this command in the description box so that it will be easy for you. You click on close, continue to Windows 11. You just give it time for it to boot. So something else you need to know is once we get into safe mode using this method, so even if you restart the computer, it won't come out of safe mode unless you deactivate it yourself. Input our PIN, and I hope this screen looks familiar. We are in safe mode. All the four corners have safe mode. You have some deactivated drivers, like for example, you can see the sound driver is not working anymore. You can see we have very few things here running, and we have so many options here deactivated. If we check on device manager, I'm sure we will have you can see almost every driver, unnecessary drivers, all of them are deactivated, so they can't work right now until we are out of safe mode. So if you want to deactivate safe mode, press Windows R and then msconfig. You go to boot, and you can see safe boot is enabled. You uncheck that, and then you apply. It will prompt you to restart your computer. And boom, you're out of safe mode. That's it. You can see we are back to our normal mode. Thank you for watching the video. Like, subscribe, and share to those people you know are interested in the content that you're making.